I don't think I'll ever get sick of this music. It's just catchy, you know? Hello everyone, I am Scruffy Matt, this is Scruffy's Retro Corner. We are studying a new case today in Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Yay! Sorry I'm running a little late today. There was a Pokemon Go raid just across the street from me at the shopping mall, so I ran over. It started like 20 minutes ago, so I ran over there real quickly to get the raid done before stream, because I need more candies for these Honedge guys. You know? Yeah, so anyway, I'm here now. What do you say we get into this? It's a new case, and apparently we're getting Miles Edgeworth back today. So you're never gonna hear me complain about that. The girl. Let her go. Ooh, this is dramatic. Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her. Is Maya in trouble again? Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Is that Mia? Or are they watching a movie? So that's why it's so grainy. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my long-time mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Picture. Name, Terry Falls. Charge, kidnapping and murder. Sentence, death penalty. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Dang. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Six years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. You know, I remember from that first trial in this game, the flashback to when she was defending young Phoenix. She said she'd only done one case prior to that, and it was so bad that she had to take a year off. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Eek! Is that tattoos all over his face, or did he have a nasty encounter with a barbed wire fence? Ah! Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax. So why did you escape anyway? Eek! I'm sorry. Oh, I don't think you meant to chew on those, bro. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Ugh, sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Eek! I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Huh. Let me guess. Oh. This is Godot, right? Without the visor, and 6 years younger, I guess. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Ha! That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Ha, relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Okay, that's gotta be Miles, surely. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kid. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. Oh no, Tofu, don't start. You can't go in there. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Come on, buddy. How about you give me a break here? I'm trying to stream a game for the nice people. And you know you're not allowed in there when Evs isn't home. Or maybe you don't know. But one would think you'd be able to work that out by context clues. You're only ever permitted inside when the girl is... Come on, buddy. Why don't you just relax on the bed? This bed is just as nice as Evelyn's bed. Yeah. Now I'm covered in cat hair. Alright, February 16th, 10 a.m., District Courtroom number 4. Oh my god! Oh wait, no. That's the other judge, isn't it? It's the one who was trying, ace detective. When we had to interrupt his trial to accuse him of murder. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. He does look a bit younger, doesn't he? I understand the lawyers from both sides are newcomers? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. His hair's shorter, isn't it? That's it. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. Got it, kid. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Woof. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony. And I'm assuming that witness would be our murdered policewoman. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful currents. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Ms. Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha! I see! The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Well, wait a minute. That's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Is it Gumshoe again? Yep. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, man! You got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart. It's aching for you. Ew. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Ugh. Oh, okay, I got it. Now, Detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Dusky Bridge map added to the court record. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? Actually, I should probably have a look at the court record myself, shouldn't I? Alright, me as attorney's badge. Proof of my profession, it's brand new and sparkles in the light. Valerie's autopsy report. Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. And the Dusky Bridge map, bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. And profiles. Terry Falls, age 25, my client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, escaped from custody 2 days ago. Valerie Hawthorne, age 23. Police officer and the victim. The key witness in the case against Falls 5 years ago. So she was only 18 when she arrested him? Damn. Diego Armando, age 27, a hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival at the office. A bit smug. Miles Edgeworth, age 20. Dubbed a genius as soon as he started as prosecutor. Today's his court debut. And Dick Gumshoe, age 26. Homicide detective in charge of the initial investigation. Still new to his position. Okay. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake, and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me, and get ready. Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Okay. Now, they said earlier that Eagle River is very swift, has a very swift current, and anyone who falls in there is generally never found again. Now, if he wanted to get rid of the body, that would be the most sensible way to do it, no? So maybe this was a frame-up. Someone murdered her and put the body in his car, or the car he'd stolen, whatever, to try and frame him for it. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Ha, you got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Alright, let's do this thing. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top-secret memo that she left in her desk. Victim's note added to the court record. Confidential police materials written by the victim. Let's have a look at this note. February 14th, 1:21 p.m. Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Dahlia. Okay. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Ha, looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it was that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designed time and met with Mr. Falls. A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Ha, returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great! We even got to say, don't move, we've got you surrounded. Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned a phone call to someone else, right? Ha. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned a phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, man. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Oh dear. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Crime photo added to the court record. A photo of the trunk of Falls' car. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Ha. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, man. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. That's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Ending later, and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kid. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and I'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not! Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The other famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. So it says I need to find more information, so let's ask him all these again, see if we get anything new. Well, I don't seem to be getting anything new here, do I? Right. Well, they haven't given me any new... They haven't given me any new information. And the judge hasn't asked him to alter his testimony at all. It looks like the latch for the trunk of the car is damaged. I wonder if that's what I can use as a contradiction. We'll do a save just to be cautious, but I'm at full health, so I don't think we need to worry too much. This evidence establishes that the defendant is lying, right? Don't ask me to confirm your facts! Sorry, this is my first time handling a case. Well, let's make it a memorable occasion, with a penalty. And here I thought he would go easy on me because I'm new. I'm missing the mark here. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? I don't think anything of it. How about you? I guess I don't think anything of it either. Then we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty. There wasn't a problem. Couldn't he just let it slide? Alright, what am I missing here? Well, I've got no idea what I'm missing here, so I think I'm gonna have to look up a guide. Oh, right. Right. Nope. Yep. Okay, sure. She isn't wearing a scarf. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Ms. Fay? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. Ah, you should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Ms. Fay, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Ew. Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking a real coffee. come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective? Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at that note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, man. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Arrgh! The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you were searching so desperately for, is it this one, perchance? That's blue, not white. Ah. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Well, why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountains out there. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Scarf added to the court record, worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on Dusky Bridge. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is alright with you, isn't it, Ms. Vey? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Foles did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. Genius, huh? So, here's the problem with this episode. We know that that Mia is going to lose this case because Miles never lost a single case until he came up against Phoenix Wright. We also have the context from her previous flashback episode that this case does not go well. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Well, wouldn't the scarf have fallen into the river? Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let me guess. Lotta Hart. Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha! A potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, I see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Witness's photo added to the court record. Seems to have been taken by the witness. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. Let's have a closer look at that photo. Yeah, certainly drizzling. She's wearing a scarf. She's also wearing a hat. She wasn't wearing a hat in any of the other photos we had of her. Her profile photo or the crime scene photo. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, No, Tofu, you're not allowed. Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. A female college student? That's right, meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. But what is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student, sir. Yeah. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. The victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, alright. So, about the witness who took this photo. What was it this person was doing all the way up in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. In the rain? There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Ms. Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, that this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor, no. I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Haha. Haha. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case... The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slept and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was a really brutal. Okay, quick question. How could he have pushed her in the back? It's a narrow bridge, and they were facing each other. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Hey, don't be hating on Canadians. I'm an honorary Canadian now. Ha. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey! Watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? Oh, Tofu, please be quiet. That must have been when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looked like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, that sounded like a pretty violent fight, man. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was covered in mud, but something about this testimony is still bothering me. Hey, talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a foot. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Alright. Well, the only thing I can think of is that the scarf should have fallen in the river. So... Hey, buddy. You giving up? Nope. Music didn't stop. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? I don't think anything of it. How about you? I guess I don't think anything of it either. Then we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty. There wasn't a problem, couldn't he just let it slide? Alright, what does the guide say? Right, okay, yeah, so my other thing was correct, by the looks of it. Oh. Tofu, give it a rest. Oh. Your Honor, what do you think of the witnesses? No? Wrong photo? Alright, let's try that again. So, at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Right, and she's not wet? Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there is nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Ugh. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? Ha, a real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here is the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The scarf, obviously. The evidence is this scarf. Ah! It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Ugh! No! I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo! Dude, that's not a very nice thing to say. Hey, same to you, buddy. Haha, Miles Edgeworth is a novice bimbo. Ms. Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Mr. Armando? No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photos showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that states she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. Wow, even in his very first trial, there's the allegations that he's evidence tampering. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes, the false evidence in this case is the... I think the most likely explanation is the photo. Excuse me for a second. sorry. There was a fly in my room. I absolutely despise flies. Let's go with the photo. About the photo the prosecution claims was taken by a witness. It certainly seems to show a man in a prison uniform and a woman in a coat. However, we can't tell any more than that from the photo. Are you saying the people in the photo may not be the victim and the defendant? Well, that's certainly a possibility. So perhaps it was another prisoner and policewoman. I admit people have their quirks. Perhaps they were part of a role-playing group. Well, I suppose that's also possible, I guess. Messed up again, kitten. Mr. Armando. There should be something else that's even more suspicious. Now think the whole thing over again. From this point on, Miss May, I will penalize you for making unsubstantiated accusations. Don't do it, Mia. Don't cry until you get home. In any case, this court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. Yeah, okay. Well, it can't be the body in the trunk, obviously. So it's got to be the witness's testimony. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from a mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Oh. Well, this is interesting. I remember. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut hole. Wow. The judge is Canadian. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. So I remember this girl, or rather, I remember her sister who, after being in a car accident with her, which killed the sister, ended up having plastic surgery to take her place. And then she tried to frame Maya for murder, along with the help of Maya's aunt. Ms. Faye, you can learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Eh? Yes, my dear. This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. No, wait. I'm thinking of someone. That's right. This is Phoenix's girlfriend from the first case in the game. She was the one who murdered that guy. So she is suspicious all right away. This is before that. A year before that. Wait. Ooh. I remember, that guy was her ex-boyfriend and was trying to warn Phoenix that she was no good. She was a bad person. So, is this case connected to that at all? Because, her other victim was in the courthouse, in the basement library, wasn't it? She poisoned him. And then passed the poison to Phoenix as a gift. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? Strange. I don't remember the name Melissa Foster. Didn't she have a different name? And you were the one who took this photo. Is that accurate? Whoa! How can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time, I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this is taking. Oh, boy. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. Witness's photograph. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Ho ho ho! What a cute camera, just like its owner. Camera added to the court record. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful model. Alright then, Ms. Fay, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Alright. I am going to take the precaution of saving here in case he starts punishing me for every single thing I do. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. Ho ho! I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Huh. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. No, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight, too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. Oh dear. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Fate. Don't drag the witness down to your level. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. Oh, that poor grandchild. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. I wouldn't say this is the crucial moment, it just shows them standing there. And right after that, I called the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? Terry Falls isn't the criminal. Then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kid. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia. Well, I feel like this photo is the way to go, because she says she took the photo of the crucial moment, but this crucial moment she's captured is the two of them just standing there.
Objection!
Yes. Witness. When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see... The photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really want to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. My apologies, young lady. But Ms. Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. Yes, you are. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. No, I don't want to know about this. No. Please, no details. Oh, thank God. It seems that Ms. Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Well, wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy's really a sucker for sweet talk. Ha. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but... The victim. Why did you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy? Why, you... Quaggy? I'm gonna look that up. Quaggy is an adjective describing something resembling a marsh or quagmire. Boggy, soft and yielding, or even soft and flabby. Oh my God, Miles! What the hell? That is a terrible thing to say. If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's still something wrong with his testimony. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. I wonder, something seems kind of off. Huh, does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. If Jerry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has a judge wrapped right around her little finger. Alright, what have we got? Okay. Right, okay. I think I see the problem here. If she ran about 10 yards, she would have ran right into the hole in the bridge there. We're going to save, just to be safe. Witness, your testimony is a joke. What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have even run 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Ah, that guy is good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward! Well, Ms. Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. Okay, so if he had done that, wouldn't he have gotten covered in blood as well? I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really good mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Ha, that's what I like to hear. Alright, Ms. Faye, your cross-examination if you please. Contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Alright. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did fall. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude. Well, young lady? Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Ha! We're one step too slow. And then what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the crime scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Do you mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Ms. Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There is also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks? They just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body? Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away, and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kitten, have you ever put salt in your coffee? No, why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is, if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, ma'am. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all. Alright, let's see. Alright, so once again, I would ask, if you want to get rid of the body, why not just kick it off the bridge and into the river? So, let's save, and see what happens if I present the map of the area. Killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful currents. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order! 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 I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Oh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well trying to take a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Ms. Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? All right, I'll do my best. Okay, covered that one. Yep. Okay, well that's consistent with the crime scene photo. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. What did the man do then? Well, naturally he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you called the police? You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. Okay. Melissa Foster, college student, witness the photographs. Yeah, I mean, you look at the latch, it certainly does look like it's been damaged. It's the only thing I can think of here. Well, I guess there's nothing left to lose by trying. Well, there is, but I don't have any other ideas right now. Nope, that wasn't it. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. I'm sorry, but I think the only thing out of place here is that pointer finger of yours. That could very well be. Here, take this penalty and try thinking things through again. What's the problem? Pointer fingers are made for pointing. might have to look at the guide again. I got no idea what I'm supposed to present now. Witness's photo. Okay. I don't really see what the contradiction is here, but, alright. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Vey? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is... Oh, right, yes. So why didn't I present this map instead? Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. Yep, you can see the rock on the left side. Okay, I get it now. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah! Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh! Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Ms. Vey, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando, don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Well, Ms. Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, You're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the court. Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. Yes, but the point is, how did she know about those? How did she see the trunk of the car? It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Ms. Faye, are you satisfied?
The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in it somewhere?
Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself.
What?
You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches?
I finally got her.
Ha! I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Ms. Faye explained herself?
Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation.
The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... Well, let's just do a little save here. She's the owner of the car. Could be. It could happen to just be a huge coincidence that... No, but then she wouldn't be up on the mountain, taking photos of wildflowers if her car had been stolen. So, yeah, let's try this. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that...
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. That's true.
But he stole the car.
He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Yet that's true, the key would have still been in the car. Which means that the key would have still been in the ignition.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls who put the body in the trunk.
No!
Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. I mean, she is pretty tiny. She would have had trouble lifting the body, wouldn't she? If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Oh yeah, she said it has a timer on it, didn't she? Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has showing. It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, Then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Well then I should probably save again, shouldn't I? Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question, we'll also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Well, I'm going to say here. Naturally, the witness was standing right here. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Hi, Assistant Attorney, who in no way looks familiar. Yes, I agree, Dom. Hi yourself. Hope you're doing well. Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Ms. Fay should do something herself. She should figure out where she stands, if you catch my drift. Oh, don't worry, the drift was certainly caught. Yes, failure is an excellent opportunity for growth. Now try better next time. Okay. Yes, thank you. Well, she was either by the car or where the killer's standing. But we got the photo that doesn't show anywhere else on the bridge, so it must be with the car. Naturally, the witness was right here, I think. In the spot where the defendant's car was? Yes, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned. You don't mind if I ask one teeny-weeny question, do you, Ms. Vane? Uh-oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice. If she put the body in the trunk at that time, as you suggest, that must mean that Valerie Hawthorne was already dead at that point, correct? Indeed. Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. It certainly looks to me like the victim is still alive. Am I mistaken? If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? The mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim. Well, it could have been a spirit, right? Ms. Fay, don't waste the court's time with this kind of foolishness. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Terry Falls, guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Alright. Then the only other option I can think of is that Melissa is the one on the bridge. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, order, order! Miss Fay, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine! Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. So this is sharing a lot of the same themes as the previous case, wasn't it? The murder took place, and then there was a staging of the murder afterwards to try and create false evidence about who the killer actually was. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You are just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. Uh-oh. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Oh, he asked her to wear a scarf, didn't he? Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Nick, no! And she's gone. Oh dear. Hi, Misa. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Ha. Well, we'll have to wait for Ms. Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. To be continued. Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations will continue right now. Seriously, those prison tabs are kind of scary. Mr. Falls, Eek! I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle I've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. all we know is that she's a student studying literature. I mean, with the gift of a time skip 1 year into the future, we also know that she's something of a Black Widow. And one more thing.
What is it?
Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder that the Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. That is sort of a catchphrase of his, isn't it?
Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago.
Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me of everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute.
So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years?
Ha, sorry buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true, I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Your girlfriend?
Huh?
Dahlia Hawthorne? Wait, is that the policewoman's sister?
Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne?
The victim's last name.
Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister.
What? Are you serious?
The girl.
Let her go.
Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her!
Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, but that girl looks awfully young to be this guy's girlfriend. How old is this guy? 25, so he would have been 20 at the time. She still looks like she would have been very, very young. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line. But if it was protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it.
Wrong! No protect, sister! Valerie betrayed me! Betray us!
What do you mean she betrayed you? You're not the first I've seen point that out. Oh, good. I'm glad it's not just me thinking that. Also, hello, Chet, the bringer of death. How you doing? Hope you're well.
Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too.
A make-believe kidnapping?
Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel.
Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas.
I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says.
Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too.
Valerie was in on it?
Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on spending the $2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia.
Oh dear. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river.
Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you?
I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over.
And that's when they decide to give you the death sentence.
I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me.
That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river, 40 feet below.
These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know.
So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself.
Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her, just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all.
So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh?
Where's what?
Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it?
I don't know.
Huh? You don't know?
No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia.
With Dahlia?
That day, on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone, with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River.
It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. I feel like I've heard the name Dahlia before. I don't remember where. Meanwhile, I do remember Melissa Foster being young Phoenix's girlfriend in the case that happened a year after this. So, I said I don't think her name was Melissa Foster in that trial. So, could she actually be Dahlia? Well, whatever the case is, we know something's going to go wrong here, because Miles Edgeworth never lost a single case until he came up against Phoenix. So obviously he's going to win this one. And whatever happened during this case traumatized Mia enough that she didn't take on any more cases for a whole year until Phoenix landed on her desk. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne?
Never found her, my sweet Dahlia.
They never found her.
Swallowed by river, gone. Dahlia, my teen angel.
Your teen angel? How old was she anyway?
Just 14.
Oh, no. That's not good. That's a 6-year age difference. Oh, no. No, not good. 14? I guess you're robbing cradles before diamonds. Does it say how old Melissa Foster is? 19. Yeah. I can see the numbers floating around in my head. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man, oh man, angels these days. 6 years with one under 18. Yeah, I don't think the verdict matters anymore. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's some argument that this guy is a bit too simple to know better, but yeah, it's just a whole bad case of badness. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Yes, I did notice the name Fall was rather convenient considering the first supposed murder. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... Thank you, Dom. Facepalm appreciated. It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. Diamond added to the court record. A $2 million gem used as ransom for Dahlia, lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. The training wheels come up now, Mia. Got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. But this Armando guy can't possibly be Godot. Godot has white hair, and a green shirt, and a weird face visor mask thingy. It can't be him. Come on. Come on. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady.
Not this again.
I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is...
What are you talking about?
My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. A motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Ms. Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive?
Yes, of course, I think.
You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Kitten.
Mr. Armando,
listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro.
Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me? May I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. Pardon me.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional.
What do you mean?
Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Alright.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kid. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile.
You bet. Somehow, I have to tie her to this case. Alright. I was out of the country until the year before last. So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed... It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sub-story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? Always press her harder. Except for the few times when you don't. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. I don't believe we asked her about her linguistics, but whatever. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. Oh! But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she's a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. She's really gone too far. Ms. Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. Hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Ms. Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at that time, an officer showed her this photo. Well, that seems like a rather serious mistake. Ha, that's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to probe too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Let's try. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not what I... Enough! Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Ha, looks like you pressed too hard this time, kid. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you. You're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. While kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. Can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. Alright, what have I got that I can use against her? Did I press her on this one? Oh, yes, I guess I did. I feel like this is the statement I need to trip her up on. But how can I prove it that she did know them?
Here we go. Hang on. Hang on. Well, anyway, this is clearly the evidence I need. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. I'm sorry, but I think the only thing out of place here is that pointer finger of yours. That could very well be. Here, take this penalty and try thinking things through again. What? But it says ask Dahlia. Okay. Here, maybe? No? Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? Well, I'm out of ideas. What do you guys think? Any suggestions? Yeah. Guilty. I get it. Could try the diamond here, I guess. Nope. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to check the guide again. Okay. It's true, Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, "Wear white scarf for identification." Yes, what about it? Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that the witness knows about it? Order! It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the note would be... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just, I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. Oh, come on, Mia, you can't let a weasel out of it that easily. Witness, sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true, that's what I saw. Impossible.
there's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. Because it's blue. You've said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? That's what I'd like to know. Ms. Foster, have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note. No! It says, wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Ms. Foster? No! Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right. A person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out yet, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Dahlia Hawthorne, deceased. Valerie's younger sis. Victim of the kidnap/murder. Fell from bridge and no body found. And that person is... Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Fay must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she was still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't... Miss Fay, you're not saying... But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Ha! Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run narcissist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself! Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far.
You don't mean?
Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct background checks on all of our witnesses.
What did he say?
Ha, looked like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go.
No way. But then why?
If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's youngest sister, Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne.
But I thought she died 5 years ago.
We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see...
Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years?
That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime.
Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of the victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder.
Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost.
How dare you?
Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne was something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her.
What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Ms. Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would the witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Let's just do a quick save here. I'm assuming it's the diamond.
Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me.
Ha. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared... pardon me. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim.
That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict.
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Ha. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets.
I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course. Aren't I?
No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me?
The rashness of youth, how charming.
This coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye, what motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne?
What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke?
If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Ms. Faye? Oh, that was the rashness of youth. The rashness of youth? And what is your point in furthering such a stereotype?
That witness stayed hidden for 5 years, kid. There must be a good reason for that. And somehow, it must involve Valerie Hawthorne.
Okay, one more time, Mia. You gotta read the court record more carefully this time.
Well, if it's not the diamond, then that doesn't leave a whole lot of options. Is it the note again? The whole truth must come out. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Ms. Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Ms. Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them. I'm gonna save again because I'm down to my last point. But I think I got it covered now. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. This will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Except we know it won't. 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. That's a big decision to make when you're 14. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe, after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous! Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ms. Faye? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. Ha! If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up, we've still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kid. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. Kind of thinking I need a toilet break. I'm just gonna have a quick look here, see how much longer this goes on. We're almost at the end. Alright, I'll hold it. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. A $2 million pint of milk? I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's only one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain, and after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That was a dangerous thing to do, considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow, I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin? Ooh! And in the next instant, I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. Crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. And that's why you hid your identity? Yes, I only told my sister. Valerie Hawthorne, eh? Yes, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could. It's a moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. Just gotta prove that the kidnapping was a hoax. Okay, how? What have I got? Do you guys have any suggestions on what to use here? I'm at a bit of a loss. Alright, the only thing I can think of is, why would Terry try to kill her by throwing her off the bridge when she had the diamond in her backpack? So we'll try that, and if that doesn't work, maybe I'll refer to the guide. Okay, clearly I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Okay, so the bridge. I did also suspect that the bridge might be something to do with it. Ah, yeah. With those guardrails up, we couldn't exactly push anyone off from the sides. So, unless he pushed her from through the gap in the bridge. No, wrong one. Do I have to use the map? You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. The bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. Which raises the question, why has this bridge not been repaired? But that's a whole other question, not really relevant to the case. If someone pushed you from behind, as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Ah! Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. Oh, he's good. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Ugh. Yeah, that's also true. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness had testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? See, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. And here's where I'll get him. But what do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river.
Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires.
You can't be serious. Order! Order in the court!
It seems Ms. Vay's assault has reached its finally reached its conclusion.
Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Ms. Vay's assault.
What?
I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible.
But ridiculous! What's so impossible about it?
Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Yeah. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there.
No! But let's remember the size and the strength of the defendant.
I mean, sure, it's plausible he might have been able to lift her over the bridge, but not with one arm that's been shot.
Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over.
So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Ah! And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range.
Ugh!
So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible.
Gah!
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Did she? I thought maybe Valerie pushed her accidentally.
Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide.
Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river.
Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river?
Better save here, otherwise we're going to have a lot of backtracking to do. The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she lost her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mint with her, the $2 million diamond.
Ugh! No! It can't be!
Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. So what about Valerie? Did she want to take the money? I assume that she wanted Terry out of the way as well. That's why she shot him. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack.
Why, that's simply ridiculous!
Order, order, order!
Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan?
This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well?
But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping?
Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister, Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do?
She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note.
That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you had your demonic plan to kill two birds with one stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Hee. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. What, witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Ms. Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Ms. Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Ms. Fey. Are you stupid or something? So here's where everything goes wrong. How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? Normally, this is when Mia would send us a message from beyond the grave to help turn things around. But I don't think that's going to happen this time. That girl's made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Ha. Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come on now, kid. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Falls' stolen car, and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? Well, our client, of course. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls.
The defendant?
There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this?
Why not? The prosecution has no objection.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes?
I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million.
That's not true.
Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Leah.
I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness!
Ugh.
Eek! I'm sorry, I apologize.
Water! Please, water! I can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Ugh.
Oh boy. Who Terry Falls saw.
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked. Then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
Oh dear. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you?
That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial.
Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence?
There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think.
Alright. Last testimony.
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge.
According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you?
It was raining. Already dark, too.
You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls?
Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong memories.
Why don't you just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here?
She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge.
You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct?
Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it.
I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question, to find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye.
I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car.
You were watching the car.
That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car.
What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it.
Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood front of me.
Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne?
I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remembered her face.
Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification?
Sorry. I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left.
What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls.
Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty.
And were you satisfied with that answer, witness?
Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead.
But you just saw that she isn't dead.
After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do.
That woman, it wasn't Dahlia.
Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means a death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do what is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls?
I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her.
Mr. Falls,
even if he can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess.
alright. Just double checking I don't need to get more information on any of these first couple of pieces. Alright. So, I think I can see what the problem with this one is. So, the problem with this is, he's on the wrong side of the bridge. These two should be in the opposite positions if he was looking at his car. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're sure, huh? Well then, I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying.
Huh? Wah! 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 Wah!
Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Vay. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did.
Blah.
That must be very tasty. Mr. Falls? Please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth.
I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place.
Did you go to a special place before you went to the bridge?
Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love.
A memento?
5 years ago, I hid it under base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get.
Ah, I remember that one. The poison for Dahlia. The poison prepared especially by Dahlia. Dahlia's poison. That poison?
This little bottle on a necklace is your memento?
Oh wait, wrong choice. It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. Ugh. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car.
No!
Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it.
Ugh.
Huh? Mr. Falls? Oh, did he just spit blood? Oh no.
That's enough. Please.
Witness?
I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle.
Ugh. Oh God. He's killing himself? No! Stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess!
I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No, we are so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again.
Mr. Falls.
Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Mr. Falls!
Wow.
And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne. She left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. No wonder Mia was so gung-ho about taking that case next time with Phoenix, and finally got to nail Dahlia to the wall. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando, we were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kid. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kid. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Holy crap! The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Really? Interesting. Achievement unlocked. Turnabout Beginnings. Clear episode 4. A brand new episode has been added. Oh, that looks like the statue of Amy Faye, or Ami Faye. Well, yes, I think we also have. You know, I was wondering when it was going to come back to the Fays. Everything feels very unresolved with Maya. Is she going... Get ready for the best case in the whole thing. Ooh, that sounds juicy. Because I've been wondering, you know, is Maya still going to go through with becoming the master of the channeling? Or has she decided she doesn't want to walk that path anymore? Will it go to Pearly instead? Is the what's her name? The aunt, Morgan, is she going to be involved again? These are all questions I'm wondering about. And yeah, that trial we did. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to have a happy ending, but it's a relief that Dahlia did eventually get caught and made to stand trial for her terrible, terrible crimes. God, that's like 3 different people she murdered. 4 if you include Terry. This ties it all up. It's so epic. Well, that's great. I'm really looking forward to seeing this case. It is getting a little late in the day to be starting a new trial, though. Or I guess it would be an investigation to start with. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to leave that one till next time. I've been going for almost 3.5 hours now. So my next stream is probably going to be on Sunday. I don't believe my family and I have any plans then. But if I'm not available on Sunday, I'll put a notification on my usual social media channels. So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, those said social media channels are just down below. You can find pardon me, my Blue Sky. That's my primary channel, and I'm doing regular Professor Oak Challenge progress updates on there. I'm almost ready to go through with Mallow's trial. I'm just waiting on my team at Poke Pelago to find one more water stone for me. That's all I need. But, at the moment, I'm waiting on the RNG gods to show mercy. Also down below, of course, is my YouTube, where I archive all my streams. I've got a big Ace Attorney playlist, which covers all the trials that I've done so far in this trilogy. And I'll have this episode up there later today. And there's my Tumblr as well, where I don't really use it that much anymore, but I have a series of articles about the Sonic the Hedgehog comics that Archie did, and how they should have been a syndicated cartoon rather than a comic book series, just because it has all those tropes you'd expect from a syndicated cartoon of the 80s and 90s. All that stuff. Alright, I think I'm done for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, chat in the chat. Always great to have you here. Thank you for hyping me up for this next episode. I'm really looking forward to it now. And yeah, can't wait to see what happens. Should be this Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So hopefully I'll see you back here then. Take care and have a great weekend.